Happy Spiritual Sunday to you all, and welcome to another, I hope, inspiring, revelatory, and most important, impactful message for what's going on in the world. All you have to do is look around the world a little bit, and you see a lot of chaos. So I wanted to focus today on perhaps share a secret with you that can help take you out of that chaos. All right, so let's get started as we do, constantly reminding ourselves and engraving our consciousness with the truth. And in fundamental terms, what we're here to do with our affirmation. So let's say together, those of you who are out there, consciousness is everything. I raise my consciousness today to see the miracles and wonder of life. I commit myself to behave with greater love, compassion, and kindness towards all human beings. And I want to constantly remind us, the Rav and Karen taught me for 37 years that the opponent in our head will tell us a lie 1,000 times till we believe it. And if you look around the world, most of us believe it. The fundamental lie that most of us believe, probably all of us to some extent or other, is that there are 8 billion different people out there than me. What you and I learn, the truth being that there is only one soul. There's one creator, created one soul. We all extend from that one soul. So to speak, on a physical level, we've been, I don't even want to say divided, we can't say separated. We have 8 billion separate bodies that are all interconnected on a soul level because there is only one soul. The Creator only created one. So then the Rav and Karen would say we have to tell ourselves the truth 1,001 times so we'll overcome the false beliefs and believe the truth. The issue is, as you and I know, on a practical level, every time we start telling ourselves the truth, which is why we do at least this affirmation every week, and I encourage you to do it more times or come up with something similar, is that every time we tell ourselves the truth, the opponent in our head doesn't go away, it doesn't give up, it doesn't stop. So we can tell ourselves 4 truths, let's say, and it's now telling us 1 or 2 or 3, maybe even 4 more lies. So it takes an accelerated rate of catching up to overcome the opponent. So before we start actually with what we're going to talk about, I found this from Karen's book, Simple Light. Sometimes we mess up and we wind up back here again, working on the same correction in this life as we did in our last life. But the Creator will always wait patiently and with loving kindness for our transformation. Okay, so that is true, the Creator essentially waiting patiently, but let's say you and me, I don't know if we're so patient even as the Creator in that way. So let's just start. Think of the last few weeks, months. Does it feel to you like it's raining chaos? Few different students have mentioned things similar to that. Just more chaos and more chaos and more chaos and more chaos. And it almost seems like whatever they do, they don't perceive that they're being freed from this chaos. So you feel trapped. You feel trapped in a cycle of chaos, negativity, difficulties, challenges, obstacles, etc. That it's a cycle of doing the spiritual work, no result. Do the spiritual work, don't see the results. Do the spiritual work, doesn't seem like you're gaining. Like we said, it doesn't feel like we're catching up on the 1,000 lies of that opponent in our head. So I heard a class from Michael Berg, which inspired me for this week. And so it relates to one of the Bible stories. So if you go into the end of the book of Exodus, beginning of the book of Leviticus. And those of you who may be new, the Kabbalists do teach us that the 5 books of Moses are true. There is a historical fact to it. Those people existed, they did what they did. You and I are learning in the Kabbalah Center, though, that the Zohar is the key to unlock the coded messages that have been written within those 5 books of Moses. So yes, it's true they did what they did and said what they said, etc. At the same time, what the Zohar and all the Kabbalists teach us, and what we teach at the Kabbalah Center, is that there's a coded message of eternal, immutable laws that are part of the operating system of the soul that everybody has, and the system that everybody operates on. No matter your race, color, religion, language, what have you, our soul operates on the same system. Because of our free will and our different talents and abilities, we may use that operating system to our unique personal lives and situations, but the operating system is the same. As simple as you and I breathe in, we breathe out. We breathe in and we breathe out. It keeps us all alive. Okay, our heart beats, pumps blood, receives the blood, pumps blood, receives the blood. So even in those terms, everybody on earth is the same. Now, how we use our breath, maybe the way we speak, how we use our heart, how we express or react to our emotions will be unique. But the operating system is the same. So we go to this Bible story at the end of Exodus. Because it's all of us. Don't look back and say, well, those were the Israelites, those were the children of Jacob, blah, blah, blah. All of us, whether physically then in a life or in this life, we all have this experience. So we were trapped in Egypt. Moses comes along, 10 plagues, whatever, and now we're traveling. We got free from Egypt, free from our bondage, which for us could be addictions, compulsions, obsessions. We were freed. We're traveling in the desert. And now Moses gets the message, as we all do. The light of the Creator wants to inspire us, guide us, bless us, eliminate the darkness and the chaos that we find ourselves in. So in the coded aspect of the 5 books, it's called building the tabernacle. So Moses gets this message. It's time to build a tabernacle that in Kabbalistic terms is a vessel that the light of the Creator could be revealed, and in a way that will inspire us, guide us, heal us, purify us, enlighten us, illuminate our lives. And so Moses goes and he announces it to the millions of Israelites who came out of Egypt with him, and he starts to collect money, materials, all the things that are necessary to build this tabernacle. So of course everybody comes along who doesn't want the light of the Creator to be basically shown to them, show up and guide them and inspire them, strengthen them. So now comes a time, Moses and his brother Aaron, they're putting the tabernacle together. So Moses basically builds it, waiting for the light of the Creator, called the Shekhinah, or the Holy Spirit, so to speak, to shine, like to come down metaphorically into this world and show up. Doesn't happen. So he takes it all apart, waits till the next day, builds it again. Millions of people waiting to see the light of the Creator show up before their eyes. Nothing. 3rd day, builds it. Nothing, takes it down. 4th day, 5th day, 6th day, 7th day. So first off, imagine or relate with that. You do your spiritual work, whatever, you're trying to help people, you're being nice, you're scanning the Zohar, what have you, and you don't see the light of the Creator shining in front of you. So 7 days goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Now, the 8th day comes, And Moses says, you know what? Maybe I'm not the one to be the conduit for this. Maybe it's my brother Aaron, who spent his life making peace between people. Meaning, as the simple story goes, if there were a husband and wife having an argument, so he would go to the wife and he'd say, you know, I just want to tell you, your husband has told me how he thinks you're wonderful and you're great and, you know, all these good things. And so, you know, like, be a little tolerant, give him a break. Then he'll go to the husband and he'll say, you know, your wife has told me so many nice things about you. She appreciates so much, but, you know, this little thing got in the way, what have you. And in essence, by doing this, then the couple gets back together, you know, they make up, whatever. It's called, he spent his life running after bringing peace among people. Now, there is the concept, imagine probably more you and I, although the story does say it is there a little bit, you know, 7 days, millions of people waiting. They've given, they've helped, you know, they helped construct this, put all build all the pieces. And now Moses is building it, nothing, and he has to take it apart. 7 days. Imagine from Moses and Aaron's point of view, nothing happening. Moses, this great leader, getting messages from the Creator, said, yes, we're going to build this tabernacle. The presence, the light of the Creator is going to show up, and it doesn't. You can imagine the possibility that they could have a little stress, a little anxiety. Like, what's going on? We were told this is going to work. Like you and I, students of the center. Yes, scanning the Zohar creates miracles, doing your Ana B'Koach, giving for the empowerment of the missions of the center, bringing people to learn Kabbalah, or spreading the Zohar. And you even hear about miracles. So now imagine from the teacher's point of view. We tell people, yes, get the Zohar, creates miracles, this and this. So people buy a Zohar and they're doing the scanning and they've got an issue that they're working on, things like that. And it doesn't seem that the issue is changing. It still seems the same. So you could imagine a little bit of perhaps, although at this point, after so many years, it's almost gone, because I have greater trust in the system and even what I'm going to share with you today. I've seen it and I've seen it work. And as people come to grasp this wisdom and the secret that I'm going to share with you, it makes it easier to not be so anxious and stressed out while we're doing our spiritual work and our spiritual evolution. Okay, so let's go back for a moment. But you could also imagine, let's say Moses and Aaron, you know, they're doing their work and nothing's happening, and people, you almost start to feel a little bit of the stress in the crowd. Okay, they could start to maybe look back on their lives. What mistakes did we make? This and this, especially Aaron. Because if you know the story, and I don't want to go through all the details, but Aaron made one mistake in his life. On Mount Sinai, when Moses went up into the heavens for 40 days and 40 nights to get what we call the tablets of the 10 utterances, we call it, or you're familiar with the term 10 commandments. And he says he's going to be gone 40 days. And anyway, towards the end of this, there's some rabble-rousers, some disgruntled disbelievers who want to cause trouble. And in the end of the story, they've tricked, so to speak, Aaron into helping them build this golden calf, an idol, a supposed substitute for Moses that they don't think is coming back. So Aaron has this mistake in the front of his eyes. Everywhere he looks, now that the tabernacle, even with his input, is not activated. The light of the Creator, the Shekhinah, is not showing up. So I want to step back so we'll remember, especially for those of you who are newer and maybe haven't taken in a while or taken it all Kabbalah 1. So there's the endless world before the Big Bang. In this endless world, it starts with the Creator creating a soul, one infinite soul, like we said in the beginning, from which we all are extended. Fill that soul with light. So you have one container, a soul, filled with the infinite light of the Creator. From the Creator's point of view, that's it. The Creator wanted to share its light. It created a vessel, our soul, to emanate that light into. And now, in essence, the light shines. The light shines. From our point of view, we're the ones who said, we'd like to have the same infinite bliss the Creator has. So we have to imitate everything the Creator did. So we need to find an empty vessel and share light. We have the light inside of us. It was given to us by the Creator. We just need an empty vessel. In the endless world, there's no empty vessels. So you and I collectively decided basically to pull a curtain so that from our point of view, metaphorically, we couldn't see the endless world. We couldn't see the infinite light. And obviously then at that moment, we plunged ourselves into an aspect of darkness. What's the darkness? That was the Big Bang, the creation of this physical material universe. Yes, physically it doesn't always look dark, but chaos, discord, divisiveness, pain, suffering, and death is the darkness of this world. Even you and I, if you're not feeling totally blissed out, then there's a facet in your life that you're feeling darkness, chaos, confusion, anger, jealousy, whatever it may be. Whatever it may be. So, along the way, as we've made mistakes from the time of, let's say, free choice in the Garden of Eden, and let's look at it, the choice they had, choose the tree of life, choose the tree of knowledge. Because remember, it's only one soul, so we were all there. We weren't yet in separate bodies, but our soul was there because there's only that one soul. So with the help of the influence of that opponent in the garden called the snake, in the story, we disconnected ourselves from the tree of life by partaking of the tree of knowledge, good and evil. And by definition, the tree of knowledge, good and evil, means the ups and downs of life. All we have to remember is consciousness is everything. The tree of life doesn't say the tree of life and death. It's a tree of life, which means it's only light, clarity, guidance, bliss, all the good stuff, versus the tree of knowledge, good and evil. The ups and downs, health and sickness, physical darkness and light, prosperity and poverty, wisdom and foolishness, ego and humility, jealousy and gratitude, the ups and downs of life. We chose that. And from that, unfortunately, for thousands of years, we making similar mistakes over and over and over again. That's what Kabbalists call our tikkun process, similar to what most of you are familiar with, the idea of karma. Okay, so we add to that. But remember, every time that we act in a reactive way, meaning give me, rather than let me share my light, shine my light. Because like the Creator, only by shining its light out was it able to manifest its light and experience infinite bliss. From our point of view, we're all filled with light, but we want the light to shine in our life. We want the light of peace, love, prosperity, health, protection, etc., to be shining in our life so we can experience it on a daily basis. So we, who have free choice, have to extend it from within us out. But that opponent that we created to give us a sense of victory and true bliss and happiness, joy, by overcoming the opponent, we programmed it to put up a challenge, make us think to receive instead of sharing. And so every time we think to receive anger, jealousy, ego, insecurity, guilt, shame, what have you, it's a form of taking. I'm trying to get instant gratification. Take from the situation, take from the person through my reactive actions, instant gratification. Well, that's all we can get. Instant gratification, short-term fulfillment. But every time we do that, we try and take, we are creating a covering, like a curtain that, or sometimes I'll call it mud, person covering themselves with another layer of darkness, and therefore their light of their soul gets dimmer because it shines to a certain extent, but every covering by reactive behavior that a person puts over their soul, the light shines less and less and less and less. So we have blocked our soul's light from shining out into our life, giving us eternal bliss by all that reactive desire to see for oneself alone behavior. Now, here comes the secret. And as we say in the beginning of classes in the center, I'm asking you not to just discard what I'm about to share with you because it may push your buttons a little bit. It may not be part of your present paradigm of belief, how the world works. So I'm asking you, do not just dismiss it offhandedly. And at the same time, I'm asking you not to just believe it because I'm sharing it with you. Take it in, make an effort to think about it, apply it in your life, and then see how it changes your perception, your experience of life, and how you perceive the world. Because it's one of the most powerful, empowering secrets that we teach. Because, yes, as you're about to hear, it's pretty much the opposite of what most people have come to believe, and with the help of their opponent, see proof of. So here it goes. So as we said, every time a person is reactive, they're covering their soul with more and more mud, curtain, shell, whichever you want to understand or call it, so the light shines less and less. Another way to look at it is we've been given, we are vessels, conduits of the light. And so every time a person does something reactive, it's like plaque in a blood vessel. Builds up a little more plaque, the flow of blood is less and less, or in the spiritual sense, the flow of the light out into the world, the shining of the light gets less and less. Now, as a person builds more plaque, more covers over their soul, our soul is our consciousness, our true consciousness, piece of the Creator. So in metaphorical terms, our soul begins to feel more and more trapped, more and more, if you will, squeezed, like imprisoned, with less and less space to exist. Imagine there's like a jail cell. There's a certain amount of space, 6 by 9, something like that. And the more things that are put in it, whatever you want to use for the example, then the person feels more and more squeezed and trapped. So imagine the soul feeling trapped. And all the soul wants to do for us, shine its light out into the world so that we will experience infinite bliss. So it's feeling more and more trapped. Now, it is a piece of the light of the Creator, so it has tremendous power. And this is the way I'd like you to look at it. Our soul, because it's feeling trapped. I mean, think if a person were in a scenario like that, where they were caught wherever, locked in a room that somehow they couldn't get out of, wouldn't you want to send a message? Come help me get out. This door is locked, the lock broke or what have you. Come help me get out. Be freed from this room, this space that seems to even be getting more and more small and squeezing me in. You'd send a message. Well, that's exactly what our soul does. Our soul is sending constant messages. But what does it look like from our point of view? As we teach it, our soul writes a script, that message. Help me show Joe Smith, the person, that he's creating more and more plaque, blocking in more and more, trapping more and more of his soul by his jealousy. Let's use jealousy. So the soul writes a script, this message for help to be free, that in this script, there's, like in a movie, there's various players, sceneries, actors, whatever there is. But in this case, the movie is what? To awaken Joe Smith's awareness of the shells of jealousy that are trapping his soul and not allowing it to be free and bring in blessings of peace, love, prosperity, kindness, protection, etc. So the first thing Joe Smith is going to experience is a scenario with various people in a certain place in his life that pushes his jealous button. Now he starts to feel jealous. It's another challenge. Somebody got the job he wanted and he's feeling jealous. Somebody bought a new car and he's jealous. Somebody got a new relationship and he's jealous. Whatever the scenario is, all of that has been scripted by his soul that's trapped inside of him, that wants to be free. And this challenge is a message requesting help from Joe Smith to unblock the soul, free the soul from this prison of jealousy, so that Joe Smith, he himself, can have greater blessings. But remember the opponent. So the opponent wants to jump in and make people believe that this outside force, either the physical people in the scenario out there, are causing the bad feelings, causing Joe Smith to feel jealous, and or something along the lines of, there's a devil out there and the devil is making these challenges show up in Joe Smith's life. Because if a person thinks that there's a negative force creating challenges, or there's negative people that are actually creating the challenges, then Joe Smith is going to make an effort to try and fight, let's just call it for today, the devil, that metaphysical negative force, entity or energy, or Joe Smith is going to find a way to fight with, divisively, argumentatively, in some reactive way, those people that he thinks are making him feel jealous. But you and I can now maybe understand a little more clearly who trapped Joe Smith's soul metaphorically in a smaller and smaller and smaller space. Who applied more and more plaque in the vessels of blessings that the soul has that wants to extend out to bring Joe Smith blessings. Who put the blockages there? Joe Smith did. Joe Smith did by choosing, with his own free will, desire to deceive oneself alone, trying to get by reactive behavior rather than sharing, breaking through the blockages, let his soul be freer to bring in more blessings. He made that by proactive behavior. He made that choice. So Joe Smith is the one that's been trapping his soul, not the bad guys, not the devil, not whatever outside force. No, Joe Smith by himself with his poor choices have squeezed his soul into that smaller and smaller space. And that soul has been writing various scripts over and over, because I guarantee you, Joe Smith has found himself in a number of situations that pushed his button of jealousy. Like you and I. Have you had only one experience of feeling angry? One experience of guilt and shame? Only one scenario where you felt judgmental or a sense of lack, poverty, greed, what have you? No, I'm sure many. Every one of them was a script your soul wrote as a help me message. Help me to get out, meaning your soul to get out of this trap, out of this prison that was created by you, the person themselves, through all the previous reactive behaviors. It's not the opponent. It's not an outside force. It's not the other people. Now, just to make sure you get it, we're not excusing the other person's behavior, but they have their cause and effect, and you have yours. So they're going to get the results of their actions, come back to them specifically. You're going to get the result of yours. So in a simple way, if you and them act in a similar way, they acted mean and nasty and you acted with jealousy, both of them negative, both of them reactive, then both, heaven forbid, are going to get some negative consequence, more challenges, more chaos, more confusion. But don't let yourself think that because they did what they did and you were just responding to what you thought with the help of your opponent was sort of a logical, rational response, that the result is because of them. No, you have yours, they have theirs. The same way, why are you and them in the same experience? Not because you said, hey, come over here and do this. Your soul did. You didn't consciously, because our conscious logical thought wouldn't do that. But of course, that logical thought is controlled by our opponent most of the time. So look at it as a wake-up call. Our soul wants to wake us up so we can pause and we can think, okay, why is this happening to me over and over and over again? It cannot be because all those people out there have created a conspiracy against us. We have to start waking up to realize the only person that's in common in every one of those scenarios is we ourselves. I am in every scenario, everywhere I go, every minute of the day, I'm there. Every minute of the day, there's nobody else. Even if you have whatever, a full-time relationship, and you're always spending your time in business or whatever it may be, there are moments in the day where it's you by yourself. So each of us is the only one in common to every situation in our life, every moment of the day. And so today we're waking up to realize, well, if that's true, then everything I do must be creating all of the scenario around me. My soul wants me to free it, and essentially me, you, be free of the chaos and the confusion and all the stress and chaos of the world. But we don't always listen. So my prayer, my desire, is that this secret will wake us all up to realize, no, let's take a minute to allow ourselves to clear our minds and realize my soul is using its power to create the various scenarios in my life, which is sending me a rescue message. My soul wants to be rescued from the trap, from all those blockages that I have created, at least in this lifetime, and I do believe past lives, in many lifetimes. So I want now to wake up, and I want to share this with you, to wake up and listen to the message. Don't look with your physical five senses. Feel, sense, with the sixth sense. The intuition, the light in your soul, as the Zohar calls it, the eyes of the heart. See with the eyes of your heart, not the physical eyes in your head. The opponent, remember, every time now, and just be prepared. Forewarned is forearmed. So now that you're going to apply this, the challenge happens, your button being pushed. This is where you're going to stop for a moment and think this through. What's the message from my soul? What can I do differently than I've done the past 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 times in similar situations? And so let me share with you a couple steps how in the biblical story, because I don't want to leave that hanging, how did Moses and Aaron fix it? Remember, 8 days, even in the 8th day, the 7 days Moses built and took down, built and took down. The 8th day, Moses says, no, it must be then Aaron will be the channel to build it and make the Holy Spirit show up. And it didn't happen. So Moses and Aaron go together. They go to pray, to meditate, to connect with the light of the Creator, to get clarity, to ask support, to reveal this Shekhinah. And it says that in essence, they didn't get the message. They didn't get a message. So they sort of look at each other, and Aaron says, you see, Moses, all I've seen today in my mind's eye is my mistake at the golden calf. One mistake in all his life, but it was presented to him everywhere he looked by his opponent. So he would feel shame. He would feel ashamed of his mistake. And at that moment, Moses gets a message from the Creator and says, because of that shame, because you feel the pain of what you did and how it negatively impacted not only you, but many other people, because you feel that pain, not to beat yourself up, but you feel the pain of inflicting harm on others. That's why the Creator has chosen you to be the conduit to bring the Shekhinah. And they're still looking. It doesn't show up. So they decide to do what you and I learn in the center from Kabbalah 1 forward, and almost every spiritual Sunday. They went out from where they were meditating and praying, and they blessed the people. If they weren't going to get the revelation that they could give to others, they would just first go and share with other people, bless others. And it says, as soon as they went, overcoming their own, if you will, take it in our way, because they were way up there spiritually, but instead of just wallowing in your guilt or shame, which is not good, or keep beating yourself up for the mistakes, no, stop and say, I only came here to share my light with other people. So I didn't get an answer. I scanned a lot of Zohar. I did a lot of Anabakoach. I gave a lot of charity, and I still don't see. Let me go take all the energy from the scanning the Zohar, doing the Anabakoach, giving the charity to support the Zohar project, ideally, or the scholarship fund, bring more people. Let me take that energy and let me go use the energy to bless another person, to be kinder to somebody, apologize to somebody, forgive somebody who did nasty things, judge people for good instead of bad, have gratitude for my blessings instead of jealous of their blessings, and even be happy for their good. Wish them well with their new car, their new job, their new relationship. Find a way to bless others, because at that moment, as in the story, the Shekhinah showed up. The light of the Creator was revealed. And so if now you're feeling in that moment, you're in that sense of being trapped, you're wondering, how come I've done so much spiritual work and I don't see the results that I want? Don't be discouraged. Just realize maybe there's a better way. There's a higher way that your soul wants to bring to you. Because often if we try and tell the Creator what we want, even yes, we gave, we helped, we scanned, we meditated, all of that, but we tell the Creator what it needs to give us. 99% of the time or so we won't get it, but even those moments where it seems that we get what we've asked for, it'll be, I don't even know what to say, 0.5% of what could come, supposed to show up in our life, is waiting for us when we will just, as Moses and Aaron, go bless others. Instead of looking what I want, what can I do to help shine light on others? Can I help them be happy? Maybe I find somebody who's sad. Go tell them a joke. Put your arm around them. Find a way to help them out of their sadness by shining light, by doing an action of kindness, mercy, whatever. Because at that moment, even if the physicality of the situation won't change, but the spiritual, metaphysical transformation will be within you. Your heart will be more unblocked. Your soul will be more free. The light that carries your eternal bliss will be allowed to shine brighter into your life, which means some of the chaos, some of the darkness will dissipate. The blessings that were there waiting for you, that were hiding in the dark, will now be revealed. And every time each of us are pausing when our buttons are pushed, asking, what can I do to bless others? How can I shine light and stop thinking of myself? And just, you'll know, beating myself up for a mistake I made is also thinking of myself. How can I just go out and be an emanator of light like the Creator? Love, kindness, compassion, generosity, care, forgiveness, gratitude, humility, whatever. Any expression of light that goes against our desire to see oneself alone will expand the beam of light into all facets of our life, because remember, everywhere you go, that light will shine out. Expand the blessings, increase your sense of peace and serenity, remove aspects of the darkness, chaos, confusion, push away, because opposites repel, that darkness and negativity, and attract, because like attracts like, more and more kind people, loving people, prosperous situations, protective situations, loving situations, more good. It really does boil down to the simplicity of light is the only thing to remove darkness. And so now imagine you and me, and then spreading this message to millions of people. Imagine if tomorrow, when tomorrow, another 1,000,000, 5,000,000, 10,000,000 people will be doing the same thing. Because the more we do on the spiritual super internet of soul, we're influencing 8 billion people to have that awakening. Imagine now another 1,000,000 do an act of kindness instead of impatience. Think of the transformation, how many lives we've saved physically from violence and death, how many arguments we've prevented because of people being more kind and compassionate and caring and understanding about the other person, and how much more peaceful, therefore, the world will be. The Garden of Eden is waiting on us. Heaven on earth is waiting on us. This is the way we can make it happen. As Jeremiah says, in the blink of an eye, in the same way that light removes darkness in the blink of an eye. May we all have the strength of consciousness to live this more and more, so that in our day, very soon, we can see the end of all the pain, suffering, and death. God bless. So now is the time of our offering. We'll do the meditation, and then I have a meditation on one of the 72 names that I'd like to do with you. I'm going to put this here. So do the meditation with us. Do appreciate all of your support, whether it's for the Zohar project, spreading the Zohar. Make sure that you and any of your friends and loved ones have at least this pocket Zohar in their pocket, in their purse, in their briefcase, in their cars with them for protection. It's the most powerful beacon of light that's connected to the endless world that exists in this universe. So the more of us have these and spread these, the faster the darkness goes away, the more intense and strong is this awakening we spoke about today. So let's just close your eyes, and then I've put the link that you can donate. And please, open your heart, feel what's going on in the world. And if you're watching, then you know, you do believe, I hope certainty, that the Zohar and this wisdom will help people transform as it helped you. Support our projects to accelerate the spread of this wisdom to the 8 billion people on the planet, so nobody has to live in pain, suffering, and death anymore. Because that's not what the Creator created for us. It's only what we, with our free will, have allowed to exist as long as it's existed. And therefore, with our free will and our effort, can we stop it now? So close your eyes. Just have gratitude for all that you have. Now even to have gratitude for the challenges that have been in your life, that you can now look back and from this moment forward live, that every challenge is a message of support and rescue from your soul, to be rescued from the trap that you've created and unconsciously allowing it to remain. Gratitude for the tools that we learn in the center, grateful for your capabilities, all your blessings. And to realize that the Creator is constantly embracing you, enveloping you in its light, because that's what the Creator is, infinite light. Feel the warmth of that embrace. Appreciate every moment that you have breath, thoughts, your body functioning, the world existing, giving us all the capability to do our tikkun, our correction, of freeing our soul and experiencing infinite bliss. And so with this love and this greater sense of unity and oneness, we empower our donation, our gift, our contribution to go through the projects of the center, as in the time of the tabernacle, to build the tabernacle by the spread of the Zohar in this 21st century, that will allow the Shekhinah, the light of the Creator, to shine in the eyes of every human being on earth, knowing that that blessing will return to us tenfold, at least tenfold, the effort that we make to give and to contribute. Together we say, Amen. And so I'd like to do, this is one of our 72 names. Most of you are familiar. Hebrew letters are primordial. They just shine the light of the Creator. They are the DNA not only of human soul, they are literally the DNA of every proton, neutron, and electron. And therefore, by the various holy names, of which this is one, we are determining and creating harmony and order by controlling protons, neutrons, and electrons, controlling our physical bodies, controlling our thoughts, words, and actions to be in greater alignment with the light of the Creator, love, kindness, and compassion, to remove all darkness. Hey, Chet, Shin. This particular combination, one hand is called no guilt. We don't want to hold on to the guilt. We want to feel the pain of our negative actions, so we commit to transform them, but not to have guilt, and therefore by transformation to brighten our lives. Hey, hey, Chet, Shin. Just let the shapes be engraved in your mind's eye. And if I can ask you, sit comfortably in your seat, feet flat on the floor, hands on your lap, taking in a few deep breaths. Breathe in through the nose, hold the breath for a moment, exhale through your mouth, increasing that circulation through the breath, through the air of the light of the Creator that is the power source of everything. Ultimately is the power of the breath of life itself. Allowing yourself to relax into the light of the Creator, metaphorically the embrace of the Creator and its unconditional love. Feel this energy, unconditional love, caring, compassion, and forgiveness, embracing you, giving you the strength to forgive yourself, to focus on brightening your life, overcoming your mistakes with its opposite behaviors, and drawing on the light in your soul and all around you for the clarity, the inspiration, and the support to do this transformation. And so we see above our heads, Hey, Chet, Shin. These three portals of light, conduits of the infinite light of the Creator that unify together, Hey, Chet, Shin, to support us in overcoming our guilt, our shame, that we beat ourselves up with. Yes, to feel the pain of our negative actions and the pain it's inflicted on us and others. But feeling the pain in the way of strengthening, accelerating our desire to repair that mistake. So see the Hey, Chet, Shin shining with light. It's infinitely connected to the endless world and the endless light, shining, vibrating with this light. And allow it to slowly enter through the top of your head. That now your brain, your mind, is vibrating with the power of Hey, Chet, Shin. To have thoughts of reality, the true reality. That you're filled with the infinite light. You've already been given infinite blessings. And with this support of this light, from this moment forward, greater and greater effort will you make to shine light into the darkness you see, to pause when your buttons are pushed, to read, hear, get the message from your soul that will allow you to break it free from the prison that it's been in. Let the Hey, Chet, Shin expand its energy from your head down through your body, empowering in a concentrated way in your heart, all the way to the soles of your feet. Feel it in your heart. Feel the shells of prison that you've built around your heart beginning to open, cracks in those walls, hearing the voice of your soul that wants to be free from the hurt, jealousy, heartbreak, judgment, resentment, whatever. Asking your soul for a message. If you have a particular situation that's most troubling you, with the power of the Hey Chet Shin inside you vibrating now, removing those blockages, ask, beg, crave for guidance, inspiration, and strength from your soul. And take a moment to listen to its guidance and inspiration. As you hear the voice, record it in your heart and your mind. Commit yourself to follow its guidance, knowing that you have the strength of the light of the Creator to back you up. And the light, as you shine out into the world and bless others, protects you from all negativity, from all darkness. The brighter the light, the greater the guidance and protection. The greater peace and serenity and joy that you feel. And let's shine this light out from our heart and soul, through your family and friends, out to every human being on earth. That through the one soul spiritual internet, we awaken and brighten the light shining into every person on earth, that their darkness goes away, their soul is more able to speak clearly and to be heard inside them. And in the power of unity, we are all strengthened, empowered to overcome our individual opponent and therefore the collective opponent, removing the darkness and revealing the light of peace on earth, serenity in each person, love for each other. Living together in heaven on earth. Taking one more deep breath to anchor and solidify this awareness, consciousness into our heart and mind. And then slowly exhale and open your eyes. Thank you all for joining us. Have an amazing week. You can go back. This video will stay on the Spiritual Sunday Facebook page. I will put it in the next few days on the Spiritual Sunday YouTube channel so that you can review the lesson, share it with others, and do this meditation. If you have difficulty to do it on your own, please come back to this page or the Spiritual Sunday YouTube channel and just fast forward to the meditation and listen to it. The more of us will do that, the more light we shine, no matter which name we've used each week. There's more light, less darkness, more peace, less discord, and less hatred and more love. God bless. Have an amazing day, an amazing week. Until we meet again.
Thank you for joining us. If you liked what you saw, subscribe to this channel that you'll be notified when we post new videos. Share the video with your friends, they can also benefit. And check out the website, www.kabbalah.com, that's Kabbalah, for hundreds of articles and classes. Wish you an amazing day, and God bless.